Welcome to release question 123 for CAHSEE Math. It says the largest possible circles to be cut from a 10-foot square board. What will be the approximate area in square feet of the remaining board, the shaded region, in other words? Then it does give you these two equations. That A is pi r squared and that pi is approximately 3.14. So how can we figure this out? If you were to take a piece of paper, just a square piece of paper, cut out this circle, you'd be left with this shaded part. And that's exactly what we're doing. It's a square board instead, but it's the same thought. So we're going to cut out this circle, take the square area, subtract the circle area. That will leave us with this shaded area. So let's write that down. We're going to have the area of the shaded part is going to equal the area of the square minus the area of the circle. And so the area of the square, that's just side squared. It's just 10 times 10. So I'm going to write s squared for the area of the square. I'm going to write pi r squared for the area of the circle. Just plug in the numbers now. We know that s is 10. And it says to use pi as 3.14, so I'm going to plug that in like that right now. It is an approximation. That is not exactly what pi is. Pi is an irrational number. It continues on and on forever and ever. It never repeats its decimals. So we have here 3.14 and then times the radius squared. What's the radius of this circle going to be? Well, if it's 10 all the way across, it follows that the radius would be half of that, would be half of 10, which is 5. So 5 feet is what goes in for your r. Now 10 squared, that should be pretty straightforward. That's 100. And 5 squared is 25. But then 25 times 3.14, not exactly sure. I think though we can look at this right here based on what we've done so far, excuse me. We can clearly say that this circle takes up more than half of the space inside the whole square. And so the square itself is 10 by 10, is 100. We're not going to have then an area of 80, neither are we going to have an area of 50. It's going to be 20 or 30 between those two because the shaded part is less than half the square. But to figure out what that is exactly, let's actually multiply these two together. So 25 and 3.14, I'm going to do 3.14 times 25. I've got 2 total decimal places up here to the right of the decimal, so I better have 2 here in the end once I get my final answer. This will be 20, this will be 7, 5 times 3, 15. Leave a space for the next one. Let's get rid of that now. We're starting the tens place. 4 times 2, 8. 1 times 2, 2. 3 times 2, 6. Add them all together, and you've got a 0, you've got a 5, 6, and 8, and we've got a 7. So it's not 7,850. You've got 2 total decimal places to the right, so it's going to be 78.5. So you have approximately 100 minus 78.5. If you were to get that exactly, that's going to be 21.5, which, according to our answers that we have to choose from, this is clearly closest to 20. So 20, and this is in square feet, so I would want to put feet squared. It doesn't give me that in my answer here, so I can just circle the 20, but it would be feet squared. You wouldn't want to leave out your units if you know what those units are. But that's 123. Takes a little bit of work there. We got to know the area for a square, and the area of the circle formula is given to us here. We just work that out, plug things in, and go from there. So number 123, choice A.